Our next writer's lyrical evocation of suffering and the dark spirit world is still haunting me. And I am very pleased, though, to bring Emily Hollis Tipping up to the stage.
I think this is all right. This thing is kind of I don't want the Kraken to get me. I'll fall down. How many of you guys know Bessie Smith? Familiar? How many of you believe that Bessie Smith was denied treatment at a white hospital? It's actually not a true story. The story is a bit more nuanced than this. Bessie Smith and her husband were in a car accident. She took the brunt of the impact. Her husband went to call an ambulance at a nearby farmhouse. While they were waiting for the ambulance to come, another car came and hit the car, and so those people had to call an ambulance. 2 ambulances came, an ambulance for a white hospital and an ambulance for the Negro hospital around the same time. Bessie Smith was actually taken to a Negro hospital. She died there. And she didn't die because she was denied treatment at a white hospital, but it's a bit more nuanced than that. Did she die because a black ambulance was slower to get to her? Possibly. Would she have died anyway? Maybe. The details of her life are lost to obscurity. She was the highest paid black performer of her time in the 1920s, and yet she was buried in an unmarked grave. Her grave remained unmarked until 1970 when Janis Joplin paid to have a grave marker put up at her gravesite. So I wrote a poem about my feelings about Bessie Smith. I love listening to Bessie Smith. She recorded more than 100 78s for Columbia back in the 1920s, a bunch of 3-minute songs. I love listening to them, but I struggle to understand. I feel inadequate. I feel like I'm not capable of understanding maybe where she came from, what world she lived in. She was sort of looked down upon because she encouraged working class black women to have sex and drink. And people thought, yeah, maybe that's not so cool. So this is sort of where my poem is coming from. This is You Can't Know Bessie Blues. 1. Mostly I sit in the dark at the back and watch. And I want to hear to feel, to have the notes and words and more. To have the feeling as the thing shakes the bone, to reshape her stories into something that might be, that ought to be known. What it is, what never can be. And yes, if you ask me, I will sing that song again. But no, it's not like I sang it then. The nonchalance with which we speak of beatings, the one in the blood who knows what it is to be bruised and calls it broken-hearted blues. Yes, I can sing it again now, and they will say I know it. They will say, this is what you are now. But that's wrong. It's only the strangest angel that does it. It's only a resurrection of sorts. And so mostly, I sit in the dark at the back and watch, hoping someday to feel it. 2. When she grow the voodoo bone, it turn her old, and she get mean like she mean what she say. And that man tell her, and so she say, and she smile in their face, and over their head where they can't see, she walk legba through the gate, and she stomp, and she sing, and she stomp, and she sing, whether anyone listen or not. And she stomp, and she rumble, and she roll, and she tumble, till stumbling right down at the last to fall where no one helped. And the truth is, something in her shine. Something in her make the world bow right down, kiss her ugly feet. 3. But you think you can feel it. Sometimes, just at the edge of your skin, you think you might know. She give you 3 minutes to see what she mean when she say, downhearted, aggravating papa, bleeding-hearted lady luck, mama's got the rocking chair, oh, daddy dirty, no-gooders in the house, easy come, easy go, hateful, frosty morning, any woman's graveyard dream, poor man standing in the rain, Gulf Coast, far away, Chicago-bound, blue, black mountain, wasted life, shipwreck, empty bed, and nobody in town can bake a sweet jelly roll like mine. Moan, you moaners, you don't understand. The angels that move us are strangers, and you will never feel it.